welcome back to Bernama. Today on the topic of health. Right now, my guest in the studio with me is Keegan Flynn, the Chief Financial Officer of the latest app in town called Doctor2U. Welcome to the show, Keegan. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Good to have you on the show, and I'm glad that we're going to speak about something truly interesting. The app is called Doctor2U. It's an on-demand healthcare services app. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So with Doctor2U, we're basically trying to be a one-stop platform for bringing healthcare services to the patient's doorstep. So we launched in October 2015 as a product of BP Healthcare Group. So BP is a 36-year-old company, primary healthcare services company with outlets all over Malaysia. So when we first launched Doctor2U, basically launched it purely as a doctor house call app. So we kind of wanted to be Uber for doctors. So it's a mobile app where you can press a button and we promise a doctor to your door within 60 minutes.
Within 60 minutes, so
within
under
60
an
minutes.
hour.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. And we weren't limited just to doctors. If you get sick, we also can do health checks, lab tests, also home vaccinations. If you're going on a trip as an individual or for your family, we can come and give a vaccination in your home. So there are kind of a few big problems that we were trying to solve with this initially. The first one was just kind of the general inconvenience of having to go to the doctor, take time out of your schedule, get stuck in traffic, have to work around a doctor's schedule.
Huge problems.
Yes, yeah, it's not fun. And the second one is kind of a lack of urgent care options. So if it's the middle of the night and your child is sick, no clinics will be open and you don't have a lot of options except to go to an emergency room, which can be really expensive and you might have to wait 3 or 4 hours to get care. So basically we have a 24/7 service where you can get a doctor to your door no matter what.
So at any time, the service works for you. It's something that's live all the time.
Correct.
And what is the range? So what kind of doctors, or is it only talking about particular areas or specialists, or is it across the board?
So it's across the board actually. So we have GPs as well as specialists, and they're from both public and private clinics and hospitals. And kind of another big problem that we realized over time that we were solving is getting care for the elderly. Mm-hmm. So actually roughly 60% of our patients are over 65 years old. So the big problem with elderly people is that if they're bedridden or immobile, it'd be really time consuming and expensive to transport them to clinic or hospital. So we bring affordable, convenient home care services right to their door and give their families much needed peace of mind.
That's right. Launched about 1.5 years ago, about 16 months now in the market. It's got over 80,000 downloads, making it easy for everyone to use an app or to get access to medical attention. Basically, what is the coverage area for doctors? Because it would have to go by areas. It can't be nationwide, perhaps not yet.
It is actually nationwide.
It's
so we
nationwide
have over
now.
800 doctors on our panel nationwide, and we're available in all major cities and towns throughout Malaysia.
Making it more easier.
Yeah, and we actually don't just have doctor house calls. So we kind of realized that we needed that giving doctor house calls is great, but it's not enough. We wanted to create an entire ecosystem for our patients and give a complete healthcare experience. So we actually started introducing new features. So in September, we launched a live chat feature that lets you get instantly matched with a doctor to ask any medical questions. You could also speak to a pharmacist or nutritionist. So that's been a hugely popular feature because it's actually completely free. Mm-hmm. So it's another reason to download our app, and people really love just being able to ask any questions for free.
Absolutely. Added with that great word, the free word. But I'm sure a lot of those out there who might wonder, who is at the other end of the app? So I'm the user. Who am I speaking to at the end of the live chat, or who am I contacting at the other end?
Sure. So with the live chat, we have around 10 of our top doctors that are responding to questions, and we also have our own BP pharmacists and nutritionists that are answering questions. So they can rest assured that it's highly qualified and really great healthcare professionals.
Well, apps these days are of course so easy. They're easy to download and easy to install and use. But how easy is the Doctor2U app?
It's very easy to use. So you can download it for free on Google Play or Apple App Store. And once you create an account, all you have to do, if for example you want a doctor house call, you just click on that service, it'll automatically capture your location just like Uber or Grab, or you can actually type in a location if you're ordering for your parent in another town or
Right, so you key
their
in the
hometown.
address, exact
Exactly,
location.
and you can actually choose the gender of the doctor. So if you prefer a male or female doctor, you can choose that. And then once you fill in basic patient details, you can click the select your doctor button, and it'll send out a request to all the doctors in your surrounding area. So the doctors who are available and accept the request will show up on a list. So with that list, the customer actually has the option to look through and click on each doctor's to view the profile and credentials. So you can see their age, their years of experience, where they practice, where they went to school.
Right, the entire profile.
Yeah, and especially in Malaysia, language is very important. So if you have ordering on behalf of your elderly Chinese grandparent, for example, who only speaks Chinese, you're going to want a doctor who knows the language.
It looks like all the smaller, finer details have all been thought out of. How successful has the app been to date?
Very successful. So as I said, we now have over 800 doctors, and we're seeing requests from all over Malaysia, including Sabah and Sarawak. So our numbers are growing, and our downloads are growing every month. So
Has
it's
there
very
been
exciting.
any particular success stories that have come out from this? Has the app managed to save any lives?
I think kind of the most exciting things for us are kind of hearing the feedback and the experiences from our customers. So on one end, we've gotten a ton of really positive reviews, especially for the live chat. We have people using it in the UK and Singapore, and just telling us how quick the response is and how helpful the doctors are. So that's really nice for us to hear. And one particular story about Doctor House Calls that comes to mind is actually a somewhat well-known columnist for The Star ordered a doctor through Doctor2U for her 89-year-old father. And in the article she wrote about it, she wrote she ordered it in desperation for her father because she really had no other choice. She really needed someone to tell her whether or not her father needed to go to the hospital or if he was okay. So unfortunately, the father, once our doctor got to the home, they immediately knew he needed to get an ambulance called for him and get admitted to the hospital. Unfortunately, he passed away that night, but it was kind of a very public example of people using our app and giving this family kind of a middle ground to not force them to make that type of judgment call when one of their loved ones' lives is at stake.
That's right. The app Doctor2U is basically part of the BP Healthcare Group. How has that basically helped or affected the business?
So yeah, we have the support of BP Healthcare, which is really great, especially in the healthcare industry. You really need the kind of trust from your customers. So I think the well-known background of BP really helps with that, and we get to benefit from the experience of the management and the healthcare professionals, their logistics infrastructure, the network and relationship they have with clinics and insurance companies, hospitals. And I think the most special thing is the integration of the technology of Doctor2U with the brick and mortar of BP. So for example, last week someone ordered a doctor with a fever and a headache at 9 a.m. One of our doctors went and took a blood test, dropped the blood test off at BP, and we were able to email the lab results to the patient by lunchtime. So I feel like there's really no one else that can offer that kind of seamless customer experience. And I think kind of the combination of Doctor2U and BP Healthcare in that respect is really great.
Very, very awesome. Now, we talked about how the app is available to more than, across the nation, to many states. And let's talk a little bit about the region as well. How far and wide is the app? You mentioned in overseas as well it's been used.
It has, yeah. So we're actually planning to expand to Singapore and Thailand, hopefully in Q2 of this year. So we've been meeting with local partners in there, and we really want to make sure that we have a strong local partner in each country we go to, because BP is very strong in Malaysia, but doesn't have as strong of an international presence. We want to have that kind of support wherever we go.
Well, the app is called Doctor2U. If you have time or have the interest, make sure you do download this app. It is for absolutely free from the Google App Store as well as from your Apple Store. The website, alternatively, is Doctor2U with the number 2.my, where you could go to get more information. What now for Doctor2U? What's next steps?
So I think most importantly, we want to keep releasing new features to solve our customers' problems. So we actually launched a medication delivery app where you can get prescription medications ordered,
wonderful.
delivered right to your home. We can deliver within 3 hours. And we're also coming out with a video consultation feature, an ambulance feature, as well as nursing and physiotherapy. So we really want to build that entire ecosystem. So any healthcare services you need, we can bring it to your doorstep.
What we'd like to say to all our audience watching today, perhaps some might be still a bit skeptical about having the integration of technology via an app and, you know, having a doctor, or rather a one-to-one FaceTime with a doctor.
I would say that, you know, I think this is the direction that everything is moving, and I think there needs to be that type of innovation in the healthcare space, especially because it's such an important space, it's people's lives at stake. And I think, you know, once you try out our app, you'll never go back. So I recommend it to everyone.
That's right. Do check it out. Of course, again, it's available via the Google App Store or even on the Apple Store. It's absolutely free. Do download it. It's easy to use as well. The website is Doctor2U.my. Keegan Flynn in the studios with us, Chief Financial Officer at Doctor2U. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope the next time you come in, we'll have more success stories to share. And this app would probably be a regional hit and success.
Hopefully.
That's right. Well, that's all the time we have on Bernama today. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.